Okay. So Dashakam 77, wherein now Kamsa has been killed. Further, the Lord meets Sairandra Stadanuchiram. Sairandra, the lady who immediately got attracted or afflicted by the Lord, utmost bhakti on the Lord fulfilled all the wishes of her. And when a boon was asked, the Lord asked the lady, "What do you want?" She asked for Sayujyam, meaning to become one with you, and also Samipyam. Yeah. Uh, it seems that now this boons she had to actually ask, right? So that is Sayujam and Samipyam meaning always being close to the Lord, Sayujam meaning becoming one with the Lord. But instead of asking this, she asked for a boon that I should spend, like the other gopikas, I should spend many nights with you. So how did she not do this? Like how didn't she didn't ask such a boon? This is what Bhattatri keeps wondering. That's when it seems that the Lord here in those nights, or as asked by Sairandri, the Lord fulfilled that wishes, and a son was born who was known as Upashloka and who learnt the Satvata Tantram, Satvata Tantra Vidbhabao, verse number 4, Satvata Tantram from Narada. So the main purpose of Sarandri and Upashloka was the propagation of this Satvata Tantram. Further, the Lord went with Balarama and Uddhava to Akrura's house. Akrura became very happy to receive the Lord, and Akrura sent away the Lord sent away Akrura to get some news from the Pandavas and how Dhritarashtra is doing and so on. That's when Jarasandha was very much angry because his son-in-law Kamsa was killed. He attacked Mathura along with Balarama, few other soldiers also. 23 Akshauhinis were destroyed by the Lord. Trayovimshadi Akshauhini. Now Jarasandha was also tied up by Balarama. Now, here, if you see, the Lord did not want to fight with Jarasandha single handedly, so he sent Jarasandha back away and said that no, you go bring back your army and come. Now, at that time, it seems that Jarasandha was the most powerful king, there was no other king than him. So, therefore, it seems that now here what happened is Jarasandha also was not very easy to accept defeat. He kept on attacking the Lord and he was very much humiliated by the defeat that he faced. And now, this time, what he does was 16 times he attacked Krishna, he attacked Mathura along with the help of other kings. Now, the Lord Sa Ekanavati Trishatam Dadani, verse number 8, 391 of his Akshauhini armies, the Lord ended up defeating. Now, the 18th attack, which was there by Jarasandha, at this time, what happened is Kalyavana or Yavana, the king, along with him, he came with 3 crore Yavanas who were there. And at this time, what happened is it was going to be a very, you can say, a very dangerous war. Like we have the world war like situation. So here, Krishna felt that people of Mathura, common people also it can cause a lot of uh, trouble, a lot of loss. So what I'll do is I'll build a city in the middle of the sea with the help of Vishwakarma, and he transferred all the people, it seems, with his yogic powers. Tatra ata yoga balataha swajanananaishi. Finally, the Lord, what he did was with a lotus garland, he ran from the city, it seems. And now, why did he do this? This is again a Leela of the Lord. The Yavana king also followed him. That's when the Lord entered the mountain, a cave there when Muchukunda was laying asleep. The Yavana who was there, he mistook. He thought that the person who was sleeping was Krishna only. He kicked him with his leg. He was actually Muchukunda. Just as soon as he got a kick, Muchukunda woke up. He gave an angry look to the Yavana king. The Yavana king was reduced to ashes. That's when Muchukunda also received the blessings of the Lord. He was very much happy. That's when Muchukunda said that I belong to the Ikshwaku dynasty. Ikshwakoham viraktaha. But my only wish is I want to get your grace. That's so. And this was how Muchukunda, he ended up praising the Lord, and the Lord also blessed him with bhakti. So much of bhakti that it was equal to mukti. Mukte tulyam cha bhaktim. And also gave him moksha, or lessons also went away. And this was an example, it seems, to the world. Prathaloka pratityai, saying that if we do good deeds also, like Muchukunda here did, selflessly if we do, Lord will definitely come and bless all of us, bless us with the best. After that, finally, what happened is returning back after doing this, blessing Muchukunda, killing the Yavana king, the Lord returns back to Mathura. And on the way, there were many other army soldiers also who were there. The armies of Magadha, that is the army of Jarasandha, they also obstructed the Lord. And that's when the Lord, what he did was, Lord gave him the last victory, it seems. That is, in so many wars he was destroyed. The 18th war, it seems that the Lord, he gave Jarasandha the victory and he fled. He went back to the ocean. Jaladi nagarim yataha. He returned back to Dwarakapuri. That's when Patalangeshwara pahima. Bhattatri cries out that, please save me from all my troubles that are there, all these various avatars you did, you established a new Nagari of Dwaraka. When you saw that the world was in danger, the war might cause trouble to the people, you transferred them to this Dwaraka Puri. You went and blessed Muchukunda. Everyone's troubles you can see. Please see my troubles and save me from my ailments. With this, Dashakam 77 comes to an end. Okay, so Dashakam 78, 79 talks about Rukmini Haranam, Rukmini Kalyanam. Tridivavardakivardirakausalam. Now we saw that Dwarakapuri was created by Tridiva Vardaki, meaning Tridivaha, heaven, Vardaki, architect, the architect of gods, Vishwakarma. He had built this new city of uh, Dwaraka. That's when, as per the instructions given by Brahma, Dadushire Vatamo Pratire Vati Halabrite. Halabrite, another name for Balarama. King Revata gave his daughter Revati in marriage to Balarama, and all the Yadavas they celebrated this occasion. It was a great festive celebration. Now, this had to take place because Balarama is elder brother of Krishna. So, somehow you had this phenomena which has to take place. Balarama's marriage has to take place before Krishna. That's when Revata he comes and offers his daughter Revati in marriage to Balarama. Now, Balarama was initially, now this is not directly mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam Narayaneeyam or so, but in a few Krishna Leela stories, it is mentioned that Balarama always wished to be a brahmachari and he was against uh, marriage also. But that's when Krishna insisted, and somehow through various leelas also, Balarama's marriage also took place with Revati. Further, this is when verse number 3, Ata Vedarbhasutam Khailu Rukmini. That's when Mahalakshmi Avataram Rukmini was waiting, who was a daughter of Bhishmaka, the ruler of Vidarbha nation. Rukmini Devi was in love with the Lord and she wanted to marry the Lord, but that's when her brother Rukmi, because of Tamogunam that was there in him, he wanted to marry his sister to the Chedi king Shishupala. Chedi Mahi Buje. And Rukmi had made friends with Shishupala. Now that's when Rukmani Devi, what she did was she tried her best to get married to Krishna, but then things were not working as she willed, and she found out that her brother Rukmi was going to force her to marry Shishupala. That's when she did an idea. Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 52 of Skanda 10, you have the letter which Rukmani Devi writes to Krishna in detail, wherein she mentions that now, this letter she sends through a Brahmana, and what the Brahmana had read in that letter that is mentioned in detail in Srimad Bhagavatam, Skanda 10, I suppose chapter 52. That's when she says that, "O Lord of the world, I have heard about your qualities, you're very handsome, this, that." And even a person who listens to your glories about your qualities, they you remove all their distress. That is, so you please remove all my worries also, and therefore I have fixed my mind upon you, O Krishna. Further, she tells that, O Mukunda, you are equal to everyone. You are equal to only yourself in lineage, character, personality, everything. So therefore, I want only you as my husband, and I don't know when the proper time will come because my family has already started looking out for a groom for me. I have chosen you as my husband. I surrender completely to you. So please come and take me away. You make me your wife. Because she prays further that let the Shishupala never touch me at all. I don't want that to happen. And she further says that if I have worshipped you always, now Rukmani Devi is an avataram of goddess Mahalakshmi only, like Sita Devi. So she tells that if I have always only worshipped you, I have prayed to you, I've done all kinds of rituals, charity, sacrifice, various vows, I have worshipped the gods, the Brahmanas, everything for your sake. Then let Gadagrajaha come. Gadagrajaha, that is another name for the Lord. Let him come and take my hand and not anyone else. So here again Rukmani Devi prays and says that every time I want only you, O Krishna, who should come and take my hands away. Now, all this I am telling you that is from Srimad Bhagavatam, the letter that is written not from Narayan. Narayan, it is given in short. Further, he tells that now in those times, if you see, no, not only in those times, even in today's times also, there are different ways of marriage. You have the, and this is again highlighted in Srimad Ramayana also, there are different types of marriage. The usual form of marriage which we do today is wherein the bride goes to the groom's house. Moreover, in earlier times, if you see, there were different types, the Gandharva Vivaham, Rakshasa Vivaham, and then especially in the Dwapara Yugam, Treta Yugam also, when one person had more than one wife or more than one husband, there were different ways that were followed. Moreover, there were a lot of demonic people like this Shishupala and so on. So therefore, they had to adopt different methods of marriage. Like there will be people who question saying that how can Krishna come and steal someone's girl and just go away? Isn't it wrong? It is like a Rakshasic way of marriage, but he cannot give Mahalakshmi to the hands of Shishupala, right? So therefore, this Leela had to be done by the Lord. Further, she tells that now, Rukmani Devi also knows that the Lord is going to come and take her away. That's when she says that she tells Krishna, she writes in her letter, I'm staying in the inner chambers of the palace. I don't know how you will come and take me away. And is it that you have to kill someone or so you'll have to fight a war? But then I'll tell you what you have to do. On the day before my marriage, a grand procession is going to be take place wherein I will be going to the Kuladaivam, wherein the family deity is going to be worshipped. And that's when this grand procession take place. On this day, we have a tradition that the bride goes to worship goddess Girija, another form of Parvati. On that day, when I come, you secretly come and take me away. So this idea is given by Rukmini Devi. She mentions this in a letter which was sent by a Brahmana to Krishna in Dwarakapuri. And that's when further she concludes saying that great souls like even Lord Shiva also, they want to take up your charana dhuli, they also stay in the dust of your lotus feet. You destroy their ajnanam, their ignorance. If I cannot take up, if I don't get your mercy, if I have worshipped you so much and still if you're not going to shower your grace on me, then there is no use of all the penance, all the tapasya that I did. And therefore, I pray that you please come and take me away. With this, Rukmani Devi's letter concludes. Further, coming back to verse number 5, Dashakam 78, with the Brahmin boy, she sends this letter away. The Brahmin boy reaches finally Dwarakapuri and hands over the letter to Krishna. And he said to the Lord that in Kundinaha, which is the capital of Vidarbha Desham, he says that there lives Nripasuta Khalurajati Rukmani. There lives the princess Rukmani. She is deeply in love with you and she has lost her own control, the control over her, and she has given this letter to you. And now, finally, that's when he starts reading the letter. The gist is given in this Dashakam, wherein she mentions that Chedi Raja, Shishupala is going to take me away. Oh Lord, please save me, and I will end my life soon. Now, this message was conveyed by the Brahmana from Rukmini to the Lord, and this brought about great agitation in the minds of the Lord. And he told him that you don't have to worry because if she has set her heart on me, my heart is more over her. This reference that is there is told by Rama also. I think I don't know whether I told you the other day, especially in Uttarakandam. I don't think this has a mention in the Valmiki Ramayana. Maybe Tulsi Ramayana has got this reference, wherein Lakshmana also at a point gets very angry on Rama and he is almost on the verge of giving up on his brother. That's when later he realizes that this incident is when Rama had to send Sita away to the forest in Uttarakandam. Lakshmana did not accept this, he does not like this. But later he realizes that, and even during the Agni Pariksha episode, also Lakshmana does not like, he gets angry. That's when later he realizes that these decisions had to be taken by the king, Rama, and not by Sita Rama. This is what he says. And even Rama has a dialogue here. He says that all these decisions which I had to take have been taken by Raja Rama, not by Sita Rama. Because he tells that there is no exam or no pariksha which I need to take of Sita. If her pangs of separation are more, my pangs of separation are even greater than hers. But I have to keep a stone on my heart and take certain decisions because that will have an impact on future. That's the reason even in our lives also today can seem to be difficult, but it will definitely have a better tomorrow, right? Many times we feel why all this is happening to me today. Maybe 10 years, 15 years later, we feel, oh, if that incident had not happened today, my life would have been different. So, like this, there are different examples. So, Rama and Sita try to convey this. Here also, Krishna tells the same thing. But if Rukmani Devi's pangs of love are more, mine are more intense for her. Therefore, I will definitely come and take away. Rukmani Devi, you please convey this message to her. With this, Bhattatri concludes his Dashakam saying that, O Lord of Guruvayur, you have fulfilled the wish of Rukmani Devi also. Immediately, you set out to Kundinaha, the capital of Vidarbha, to bring back the goddess. Similarly, Vitanutam Tanutam Nikhila Padam, please bring about relief to me also from my worldly afflictions. Further, Dashakam 79, the Lord he leaves along with Balarama with an army and he entered the city of Kundinaha. The Brahmana boy, the messenger, also arrives and conveys the message back to Rukmini, gives her a sign of hope, saying that the Lord is definitely going to come. That's when Rukmini Devi feels very happy. And the people of Kundinaha, they were very happy on seeing Krishna. And it seems that the people who were there, they got to know about the decision of Rukmi that he is going to marry the princess of their land to the evil character Shishupala. People of Kundinaha, that is people of Vidarbha Desham, Vidarbha Rajyam also felt very sad, it seems, and they could not sleep that entire night. Saruditairuditairagamat nisha. They spent their night with tears in their eyes, it seems. The next morning, what happened is Rukmani Devi, as told, she goes out of her chambers, Indumukhi Shivam, to worship goddess Parvati, and she had worn all those auspicious ornaments. Is that also? That's when the princess reached the temple of the goddess, she had other women along with her. She worships the goddess, and like this is the reason why we do the Girija Vrata that is done. Uh, Especially during marriage or married women especially take up this vrata. Again and again she prays at the feet of the goddess that the Lord only should be her husband. Now there were many kings who had assembled there and they all had an expectation to see Rukmani Devi. The Lord stood in a corner in a silent manner. At that time, immediately what happened is the princess comes out of the temple after worshipping the goddess. All the assembly of kings, they were all enthralled at her beauty, and she was also a new bride who was there. And that's when the Lord immediately what he did was Vanugameshyati Chandramukhi iti. Immediately somewhat he goes nearer and asks, where are you going? And while he was just going near her, immediately he pulls her. Karena Haran Kshanat. Immediately he pulls her by her hand and takes her to the chariot, helps her in, he carries her away. That's when amongst the rivals of the Lord there was a lot of protest. Now here if you see Samadiropyaratham, he helps her in getting on the chariot. He does not force her. This is the difference between what Ravana did to Sita and what here Krishna is doing with Rukmini. So Krishna here does not purposefully steal or abduct Rukmini. It's due to the request of Rukmini, point number one. Moreover, he helps her to get over the chariot. Now, if you see those chariots also, they are not very easy to lighten. In the case of Sita, what did Ravana do? He purposely takes her away. There are some fools who make some comparisons like this. That's why I gave you the clarification. Bhattatri himself highlights it Samadhiropya Ratham, meaning the Lord helps Rukmini Devi, he gives her his hand and helps her in climbing up the chariot. There was a lot of protest that was being made. That's when everyone got a where is that cowherd? Pashupala iti, where has he gone away also? And that's when it is just that here a very beautiful Shunakai Vakesari. Bhattatri makes a very beautiful comparison. He says that the Lord was not affected at all. It was just as if dogs were barking Shunakaha in front of Kesari, in front of the lion-like personality of the Lord. So did not have any effect of the Lord. Let those kings be barking, let those rivals be barking like dogs. It doesn't have an impact on the lion-like Krishna. Finally, now Rukmi gets very angry. He comes to fight with the Lord. That's when the Lord, what he did was the Lord did not kill him because he was, after all, his brother-in-law, Rukmani Devi's brother. So therefore, he just bound him also. And at the instance of Balarama, the Lord released him. Balarama comes and he also stops the Lord, saying that you should not kill because ultimately he is your brother-in-law. Rukmani Devi, how much ever evil he might be, Rukmani Devi also will not like the killing of his brother. Moreover, there are certain rules also on the day of her wedding. You should not kill her brother also. Therefore, you don't kill him, but of course, you bound him so that his pride comes down. And immediately he returns. Uh, Balarama tells on the advice of Balarama, Rukmi, no Khamas calls to Rukmi. They all return to Dwarka Devi with Puramayara Maya Sahakantaya. The Lord comes to Dwarka Devi along with Rukmini Devi, who was Rama herself, goddess Mahalakshmi herself. Further, it seems that Rukmini Devi, what happened is now newly she had married and come, so she was a bit shy also. And both of them, Hasitam, Amshula Sanmukhi, both the Lord and Rukmini Devi spent good moments together after being married off newly. Now, Vividhanarama Eva Aham Nisham, day and night, the Lord and the goddess spent time with each other, and this was wherein like Rama and Sita, Rukmani and Krishna also spend some good moments with each other. Further, Bhattatai concludes his Dashakam saying that Tadadika Iratalala Nakaushanaiv. Just by being affectionate and loving to Rukmani Devi, you delighted her mind. Similarly, please give me moksha also by liberating me from my Gadatan Timapa Kuru, by removing my sufferings. And I am also always Bhavat Charitani for the last 80 Dashakams, last 79 Dashakams. I am also singing your glories. Please free me from my suffering so that I can concentrate more on singing your glories. With this, Dashakam 79 comes to an end.